What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Dustin with Jersey Shore Drainage Solutions, and today we're going to be running the downspouts out on this house on both sides to prevent her yard from flooding when she's done doing all her landscape and everything. So let's go ahead and show you what's going on. All right, what we're going to be doing is running the downspouts from the back left and front left all the way out to the street, to the pop-up. As you can see from all the way over there, all the way down the side, come through the fence, bypass the gas line, tee into it, come all the way out here to a pop-up near the street on the other side of the sidewalk. Over here, we're gonna do the same thing, except we're also picking up the sump pump line, and we're gonna be installing a rain barrel on the back right of the house. So from the back right, all the way down, pick up the sump pump line, continue down through here, miss the sprinkler systems, cable line and everything, tie into this, and go all the way out under the sidewalk to another pop-up over here. So, let's get started. All right, now we have it all dug out. As you can see, under the sidewalk. This is the first rough draft of the dig. Now I gotta put the pipe in and get the exact grade. But that is exactly what it looks like. All the way from the corner, all the way down to the front. Gotta put the pipe in and get the correct grade. As you can see, just like that, 100 feet of downspouts. Now time to hook it all up. And here we go. After everything is piped out, we got it all set up. Right now I'm getting ready to do the little mini drywall at the end of the 90 for where the pop-up is, so that way when the water comes up and no longer has any head pressure, it'll be able to facilitate easily back into the ground. So this is how everything looks. Got everything connected all the way to the back. Remember, when you're always starting off, you always want to make sure everything starts off downhill to level from the back. You can keep that steady pitch all the way. Get over here to the corner right before the fence. As you can still see, we are downhill to level. We have it 90 around. Make sure you stay away from the fence post so you don't undermine it. You go on the other side. We are downhill to level. Everything connects up. And after this corner, shoot it down even more drastic. Now we are completely downhill to level, so it's just straight up downhill all the way to the end where there will be a pop-up, so that way you can get rid of all the water off the property as soon as possible. Downhill to level. Now to finish the mini dry well. Now as you see, we got the little mini dry well. We have our long neck 90. 2 holes drilled in the bottom, and you go ahead and set that up in here like that. Put a little bit more rock. Just need enough to help it, so that way it'll contain itself, and then when it can drain, take another piece of filter cloth, cut a little hole in one end, that way you can burrito wrap it over, just like that, and then you can put dirt back on it. Obviously this is easier with 2 hands. But just like that, and you put the dirt back over it, when you have it come up to the spring-loaded pop-up emitter. Always use the spring-loaded. Okay, so that way when you're running over it with a lawnmower, it doesn't suck up and take the top off. That's why the spring-loaded is the best. Now to put this all together, backfill, and show how it works. And it started raining as I was backfilling, so this is how it works. Just like that. The water comes all the way down, comes in, facilitates up, goes down, and drains towards the storm drain. Just like that. It's wet out here. Oh yeah. All right, now the right side is completely dug out. We've already backfilled over there on the left. I gotta finish the back part, but here we go. I got under the sidewalk. Gotta clean it up in here some. Didn't find the cable line at all, so that's good. At least that means they dug it lower than they should have. You gotta like when things are actually done right. And all the way from the back right of the house, and that is also where we're gonna be hooking up the rain barrel, and I'll be doing a video on that so everyone can know how to do it. But all right, now time to put the pipe in and get the level, show you it all hooked up. Now always remember, when you're dealing with the sump pump, please make sure that you dry fit it first. Obviously this isn't perfect, but I made sure that it's gonna fit. I didn't wanna make it too tight to get apart. But that's how you do it right there. Dry fit it first, and then you use your primer and glue. Make sure everything's going how you want it to go. Like right here, I have everything going downhill to level up to this point, and I'm making it sharp, and then everything's gonna go way more downhill, going towards the street. So please, make sure you dry fit before you glue. All right, and here's the back right. We have it all piped up now. I have to finish here at the end after we get the rain barrel, but I need to make sure that I know the exact height of where it's going to be, because it says the connection needs to be 12 inches above that. As you can see, you always start out downhill to level. Keep it going all the way down here to where we tie in the sump pump. Everything stays completely downhill to level from the back corner. As you can see from here, when it gets here, then it shoots down drastically after the sump pump ties into it. You can see from the bubble here, it's way downhill to level now. So as soon as all this water starts coming out of the sump pump from the AC line and the sump pump itself, it'll come in directional T all the way to the street. And now we continue on with the right side. Everything's piped out under the sidewalk. Have the downspout tied into it. And over here, as you can see from the other side of the fence, where we're at with the sump pump, everything is completely downhill to level. And everything stays that way. And then when you get to about the midsection, then we shoot extremely downhill to level, so that way all the water is going to rush, go out, go to the pop-up, facilitate under the grass, roll over, and go down to the nearest storm drain. Now to make the end into the mini dry well, so when the water no longer has enough pressure to pop up, it can facilitate back into the ground and help prevent against freezing. And here we go, just like we did on the left side of the house. You see the holes in the bottom. We have the rock, filter cloth rock, and you put another piece over, and you go ahead and give it the burrito, and then you can just throw dirt back on top. Put the pop-up up over here, make sure I have the right height, and backfill and show. And now for the back right of the house, we're going to be hooking up a rain barrel slash planter. As you guys can see right here, it doubles. It comes with the hole saw and everything. It comes with everything you need. So that way, all you have to do is set it up. The first thing you want to do is make sure you have a level base. And then after you line it all up, you're going to have to go to this to get the height, which has to be a little bit higher. I think it's like 6 inches higher than the actual barrel itself. You drill the hole with the hole saw. You take your little piece here, you stick it in sideways, you turn, and then that way the water can collect slowly in there. You see it from the inlets on the sides, and then what doesn't goes into the downspout and goes all the way out to the street. Now let's get the base going. All right, and now to show you, they are completely level. You have to make sure you do each block individually, and then you do them together to make sure you got level, because it's gonna be a lot of weight. Water is heavy. So now we put the barrel on and figure out where we need to drill. And now that you have your planter on the base where you want it, you make sure you go ahead and put your plugs in first. Then you go ahead and figure out where you want to drill. Now when you're putting the inserts in, you're gonna need a hammer, okay? Hammer, rubber mallet, something, but I prefer the hammer because they just are a little bit bigger than the actual holes because you want it to make sure it's sealed. So yeah, it doesn't say anything about tools needed, but you definitely need a hammer to be able to do this. And now you have them both in, and go ahead and set it back up to how you want it. And then you put the plug in the bottom, so that way it can drain in the winter, and you put your spigot up here so that way you can use the water. And this is what it looks like on the inside. Now you have this top piece as well, which it says you have to knock out this plug so you can put the screen in there. So we're gonna get to that next. All right, now that we have that hooked up, we're gonna go ahead, there's two different sides for you to have it on the left or the right. So that way you can go ahead and drill the holes. This will be the inlet spot. So we're gonna pick this one over here, which you can also see gives you a little guide hole on the other side. So we're gonna drill the hole through this now, and then we see the height difference, and we're gonna go ahead and probably put it up here so that way you're a couple inches higher so that the water can flow by gravity into the barrel. And now this is what it looks like. I drilled the hole in the part of the barrel on the side I chose, and then you have the inlet for the downspout a little higher, so that way gravity will make it go down. Then we're going to be using this piece. I'm going to jam this in here, turn it sideways, and then we're going to run the hose into there. All right, now that you've put the rubber extension inside the gutter, you also have to put the rubber little extension piece inside the barrel, and then you take your hose, it's an accordion, and then you'll be able to stick it in one side and into the other. Now, before you do that, you have to make sure you put the two screws in here to help hold it in. And also remember, when you're sticking this in, please wear gloves because this is really sharp metal and it'll cut you really easy. But now we have to put the screws in and then hook this up. All right, and here's the final product. After you screw everything in, you hook up your hose, downspout's complete, and you take the 4 screws, you screw on the lid, and now you have an awesome rain barrel, which you could also make into a pottery if you'd like. But that's exactly how you hook up a rain barrel to your gutters downspouts. And here's the front right side. Everything is now completed. Rain barrel hooked up in the back right. Downspout, sump pump, everything runs over to here. Another job well done by Jersey Shore Drainage Solutions. As always, like, share, comment, subscribe, and until the next one.